morning, Beaumont, and welcome to Right Side of the Mic with Doc Greene. It's going to be a great day, and we got some cool stuff coming up for you. So stick around, take some notes, share it with a friend, and if you're watching this on YouTube, please like and share. I need it. You have a choice, and you chose Freedom 1300, live out of Beaumont, Texas. Now, the first thing I had to bring to you today is the fact that I am on the board of Wheelchairs for Warriors. Wheelchairs for Warriors does something that no one else does. We provide wheelchairs for former warriors that have been disabled in the combat theater. To be eligible for a wheelchair, you have to have become disabled in combat. That's the only requirement. Doesn't matter if you're male, female, doesn't matter what color you are. If you were a warrior, if you were in combat when you were hurt and you became incapacitated, we want to get you a wheelchair. A lot of people don't realize the VA has very limited resources, and some of our most injured veterans get a manual wheelchair. They don't even get an electric one. So we think that's a disservice. I am a veteran, and we want to make sure that our veterans that were damaged severely in combat get taken care of. So I'm asking all of you right now to go to wheelchairsforwarriors.org. That's wheelchairsforwarriors.org. And I'm asking you to make a donation. Donations have been off a little bit this year. We've got right now 36 warriors that are waiting for wheelchairs. These wheelchairs cost about $12,000 a piece on average. So we need you to help us get these wheelchairs to these wonderful combat injured veterans. These are wheelchairs that allow these former athletes and strong men to be able to stand up if they need to reach something or to be able to participate in sporting events. One such athlete was Jason Tabansky. He was able to win the archery event in the Paralympics because he had one of the wheelchairs provided by Wheelchairs for Warriors. You can help. Please, wheelchairsforwarriors.org. That's wheelchairsforwarriors.org. Meanwhile, it's very important that we make note of the fact that the Venezuelan gangs are trying to take over here in the United States. Earlier this month, 4 Venezuelan members of Tren De Aragua were arrested in Colorado. They were definitely illegal aliens. ICE has made a statement on Fox News. They were between the ages of 19 and 24. They all crossed the southern border through Texas under Biden's request. The Aurora police arrested them and put detainer requests on 2 of the Venezuelan nationals. All 4 were arrested following a shooting that took place in the Nome Street Apartments in Aurora. Of course, this is also happening in Dallas, don't forget. I warned you guys some time back. I told you that this was going to happen. These people were coming across the border. They don't have wives. They don't have children. They're coming across the border, and they are pre-placing an army here in the United States for one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to take over the United States. They want to destroy our ability to live as we wish. What are these guys going to do? I said this is what was going to happen. I said eventually they would be activated, and they would be told something like, we got you here, but if you want to stay here, now you're going to have to fight for it. This is the very tip top of the iceberg. There is so much more to this. It's just mind-blowing because we have thousands, tens of thousands of Chinese that have come across the border. And I've told you before, in China, there are 10 men for every Chinese woman. What does that mean to you? It means that 9 out of 10 men in China know from the time they enter the first grade or whatever they have in China that they will never have the opportunity to be a husband or a father. They know that they will never be able to achieve the American dream, and I don't know what the Chinese dream looks like, but they know that they will never have a family. So what is left for them? They have to distinguish themselves in battle. And so they are coming to the United States. And how did this happen, by the way? This happened because of the Chinese one-child policy, which was in place for, I don't know, a couple of decades. I could look that up, but now they're reaping the result. The Chinese population is in steep decline because they just don't have enough children being born. But getting back to our situation, These people have all come to the United States. They want to stay here. They will fight to stay here. Now, we cherish our Second Amendment, don't we? We talk about that. I mean, what does the Second Amendment really say? A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the citizens to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Well, whether we live in a free state or not, I'm not sure about that. I mean, let's face it, guys like me have our YouTube channels taken down. I mean, I had over 50,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel previously, and then one day somebody just said, you know, we've had enough of this Doc Greene guy. You're gone. Didn't matter. But that's the world we live in. Do we have a free state? Well, I don't know. I'm not sure that we do. Do we have a republic? No, I don't think we did. I think we lost that. There's a possibility that if Donald Trump gets elected, we may be able to fix some of these problems because Donald Trump is the man to do it. But he can't do it with our existing Justice Department, can he? I always call it the Injustice Department because they haven't been involved in justice for, well, at least a decade. And so you can't call the Justice Department. You can't call the FBI, which is part of the Justice Department. You can't call on them. The CIA is apparently operating here in the United States in violation of its charter, which says that it cannot operate domestically. The FBI was supposed to take that over, but can you trust the FBI? Well, of course not. There might be an honest agent in the FBI, maybe down in the mailroom somewhere, but seriously, I don't think there are any honest agents in the FBI. So who do you trust? Where do you go? What about the military? Well, our military has been gutted. They started that during the Obama administration, where they fired all of the top generals and replaced them with this new breed of people that believe there is no God, and they think that they need to promote DEI. That would be diversity and equity and inclusion. Well, diversity, yes. That is, we want a diversity of perversity. Equity, everybody's supposed to get the same thing? No, I don't think so. What about inclusion? Yeah, we want to include every manner of perversion, but we don't want any Christians. We don't want any Jews that are religious Jews. We certainly don't want anybody in there who thinks the United States should be placed before other countries in terms of interest. So this is where we are. But I want to get back to this. The Border Patrol agents encountered a 24-year-old guy, Jonhardi Jose Pacheco Chirinas, they call him Cookie, I don't know why, at the Del Rio sector back in 2022. As soon as they caught him, they said, this guy's a problem. So they immediately did what they always do. They gave him a hearing and gave him a notice to appear, or as Border Patrol agents jokingly call it, an order to disappear. At the moment, Pacheco was slapped with felony charges for assault with a deadly weapon, among other criminal offenses. His brother was arrested for attempted murder and other charges, also in the Del Rio sector. Nixon, Dixon, Azuaje Perez, both of them were also apprehended by the Border Patrol agents in Eagle Pass back in August of 2023. They were both given notices to disappear and were placed on parole while they awaited their proceedings. I'm trying not to laugh here, guys. Thanks to the failure of the Biden administration to secure the border, the people of Aurora and other Americans have suffered at the hands of the Tren De Aragua gang. They're taking over North Dallas, they're taking over Aurora, they're taking over Chicago and other places. The United States has become a playground for all manner of criminals, and our borders are not fully secured. So if you want to live in a safe neighborhood, it's time for you to understand why you have a Second Amendment. Do I need to make that more clear? Well, I'd probably better not, because I don't want to get kicked off of here. This just in from my friend Wilbur Witt, a.k.a. Bill the Butcher. He said, okay, you conspiracy theorist out there, here's one for you. Candidate campaigning for office with Secret Service protection makes a spur-of-the-moment decision to play a round of golf, taking a break from his planned route. He flies in his personal jet, complete with entourage, to his own golf course with an investor to play golf. Simultaneously, a man set up a sniper's nest just off the 6th green. He was waiting about 12 hours there, indicating that he would probably have gotten there just after the candidate made the decision to play that round of golf. So, with the candidate on the 5th green, the would-be assassin was sighting his shot in on the 6th green. Meanwhile, a highly trained Secret Service agent saw a rifle protruding from the bushes. Shouting "gun," he fired 6 shots from his government-issued pistol, gripped firmly in his highly trained hand. And he missed. All of them. Y'all think I'm making this up, don't you? Well, I'm not. Donald Trump, Florida, Secret Service, unannounced Sunday golf game, known criminal and convicted felon with an SKS rifle, a black SUV, and stolen plates, who has been to Ukraine 5 or 6 times and recruits troops for Zelensky and writes books about it, and a partridge in a pear tree. I crappeth thee not. Let's talk about golf courses. I used to live on the 10th green of the Berry Creek Golf Course in Georgetown, Texas. When I say on it, by God, I mean on it. My spoiled-ass grandkids played in the sand trap when the golfers weren't playing through. Let me tell you virgins about distances. The reporter from FNN said the prospective shooter was on the 6th green. Now, Trump was on the 5th, and the highly trained agent that saved the day popping rounds into the bushes, don't you think the shooter could see the 5th from the 6th? Kennedy was shot from the top of his 6-story building at a moving target fired by a guy who only had a bore-sighted rifle. And Dr. King was shot standing on the balcony from a position down and across the street. Do you not think this man wasn't sighting his shot in? He already knew where Trump was going to be and what time he would be there. Clear line of fire? 4! Do I have to tell you people everything? We're talking about 100 or 200 yards. Hell, let's make it 3. That little queer up on Butler was that close, and he blew Trump's ear off. Of course, the highly trained Secret Service had to clear the crowds out of the way to afford him that shot, but we ain't talking about that. He fired 8 shots that day. Oswald got 3 because he had to switch from his misaligned 4X scope to iron sights after his first shot hit the pavement behind the presidential limousine and wounded a bystander in the cheek. And King was killed by 1 shot. But this cracker was better positioned and closer than that. So what's the excuse? He was hiding in the bushes. Well, he wasn't hiding. He was camped out. We're lucky he didn't order Chinese to be delivered while he was waiting there. Nobody went looking for a lost golf ball in all of that time. My grandkids could have found that guy. If I'd have used this scenario in a movie plot, my friend Vic would tell me it's unrealistic. I'm not going to list all the questions that need to be addressed. The next shooter may set up a deer stand, for crying out loud. I'm just waiting to see how the Secret Service is going to sweep this 800-pound gorilla under the rug. Bond. James Bond.